Did you know stroke is the third leading cause of death in the United States? According to strokecenter.org, on average, somebody in the United States has a stroke every 40 seconds. And each year, about 795,000 people suffer a stroke. Local News 8's Esme Carriega talked to the manager of ERMAC Stroke and Cardiovascular Programs today. Esme, are women at a greater risk of having a stroke?
Actually, yes, Carol. Thomas told me the older you get, the higher the risk for having a stroke. However, young people are at risk as well.
I started getting this really strange headache. It was very localized on my head and in one position, so it was very different. It wasn't like a normal headache.
Julie Katormson didn't know it at the time, but she was suffering a stroke.
Went into the emergency room here in Jackson, and really there was no reason to assume that I was having a stroke. I was active, healthy, 31. I didn't drink, I didn't smoke.
Katormson recalls what doctors found.
There were 3 blood clots, and these blood clots were actually in 3 different major veins.
Eastern Idaho Regional Medical Center manager of stroke and cardiovascular programs, Jamie Thomas, says it's not just elderly who are at risk.
I think that sometimes younger populations don't realize that they are at risk as well.
Thomas says one of the main issues with strokes is that warning signs are hard to detect.
We don't see the patients coming in right away. Generally, they think, oh, I'm just feeling sick, it'll get better, I'm not feeling well today.
The acronym FAST can help identify them. The F stands for facial weakness.
One side of the face, and so the deficits or weaknesses happen to one side of the body.
A stands for arm weakness.
Tingling or lack of any sensation at all.
The S stands for slurred speech.
It could be absence of speech, the inability to say anything at all.
T stands for time.
Have to make it to the facility within a certain time frame.
Today, Katormson owns Revolution Indoor Cycle, where she teaches fitness.
The situation made me take life by the horns and just accomplish things that I had only dreamt of at that point.
Thomas says if you think you may be suffering from a stroke, to call 911. Don't attempt to drive yourself to the hospital. Reporting live from the studio, I'm Esme Carriega.
All right. Thank you, Esme. Well, they hope to continue to spread her message. She has teamed up with St. John's Hospital Foundation in Jackson to host a fundraiser. They're calling it Rock the Ride, and it will benefit stroke and cardiac patients, and that's going to be held on March 13th.